What's up? What's up? What's up, everyone? Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing today? This Saturday afternoon. No, it is not Sunday, Thursday, Wednesday. We're coming at you on Saturday, baby. Yes, for these Black Adam spoilers. Yes, I did say spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. You see it in the title. You see it in the thumbnail of this video. You see the banner at the bottom of the screen. We're going to spoil this stuff in, out, up, down, left, right, in and out, as if you've already seen it. You have been warned. I want to thank all of you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it that you're spending your Saturday afternoon with me. It is very, very flattering. And I know usually I have my Captain America intro, but I would not be able to do that if because this is DC and this is DC and it is not Marvel. And I'm sorry, I just got a message for somebody right now, and I'm kind of laughing because I guess I didn't provide the notes or anything like that. But before I get into all that, let me go ahead and start shouting you guys out right now. First, we got Shantoria Wilkins in the building. First, yes, you are first. How you doing, Shantoria? Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. We also have Cynthia Charles in the building. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. I'm so just laughing at these messages. But Cynthia Charles, thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. We also got Cordell Adams in the building. Same to you. What's up? Thanks for being here. What's going on? What's going on? Zia Latrice in the building. Hey, everyone. The host may be running. Hey, I'm here. I'm here. You look at Zia. That's why she a moderator. She holding me down. I thank you so much, Zia. I appreciate it. Please hit that like and subscribe button. We also have Splash Wave Beats in the building. What's going on, Splash? Thank you for being here. Mark God, what's going on? Thank you for being here. What's up? What's up? What's up? Andrew Collins in the building. Black Adam was fantastic. That's wonderful. I'm really glad that you liked it. I'm glad. That makes me smile. That makes me happy. It's Latasha. Random, but I like your countdown music. It's not random, it applies, So thank you. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate that too. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bon Joyner in the building. Gangs of London is back. Fire. Right on, right on, right on. And Black Adam was solid. Yes, we're going to talk about it. We got Five Savage Cabbage. What's up, y'all? What's going on? Thank you for being here. And then we also have Isaiah Musa. Glad to be here. I am glad you are here as well. But guys, I see that we have 29 people watching right now, and that is a wonderful thing. Let me see how many thumbs up we have. Hopefully we have 422, but we're going to see. We actually have 17. So let's get that up to 20 real quick. I would really, really appreciate it if we can get that to 20. But as we are going to talk about Black Adam spoilers, I don't think that I can do this by myself. So let me put out this call and see if I can get some help.
If I'm going to do this, I'll need my news team at my side. News team, assemble! News team, assemble!
Thank you so much, Ron Burgundy, sir. I do appreciate it. You are always coming through in the clutch when I need you. And so that's just what's up right there. Also, we got Craig in the building. Do smell what Adam is cooking. Yes, I smell it too. It smells quite good, like some crispy bacon. None of that turkey stuff, but the good old pork. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. And we also have Steel Rain in the building. They are already trying to act like this movie is a flop, especially the anti-social justice warriors. Really, really, really. That's horrible. But yeah, we're definitely gonna be probably talking about that too.
Finally, a worthy opponent. Our battle will be legendary.
All right on, guys. You know what that means. It means I have a guest backstage, and let me go ahead and bring them out right now. Introducing.
I didn't think you had it in you.
I'm your huckleberry.
Miss Kimberly Currin from Southern California. How you doing, man? How you doing?
I'm doing great, my friend. I'm doing great. Tell
That's
them that the girl that is black brought it to you.
That's what's up. Guys, if you didn't know, this is I got you. This is Miss Kimberly Currin. She's ready to talk about these Black Adam spoilers as well. You saw the film Fresh. You saw it last night.
I texted you in the theater.
Nice. So
I was like, oh yeah.
I love that you have so much to say. I can't wait to pick your brain and see whether you liked it, disliked it, or you're somewhere in the middle. So that's what's up right there. And I don't know. I'll wait till we I cannot talk. I will wait till I ask that question. But
here comes a new challenger.
Got somebody else backstage as well. Can y'all guess who it is? Real quick now. Coming to the stage right.
T'Challa, we need a recast, chat would agree, and I truly believe that. Stories untold, I pray that we get to unfold. Don't kill him, we don't need to see that. Recast T'Challa. Recast T'Challa.
Yes,
Eman with Eman. I'll be jamming when that come on. I'm sorry.
It's all good, man. Eman's movie reviews. What's good, my dude? How you doing, man?
I am great. What's going on, happy people?
What's going on, my brother? Thank you so much for being here. And guys, I'm excited as well. This is my first time I've had Kimberly and Eman on the same broadcast at the same time. These super duper stars right here. It's wonderful. I love how we're all coming together. It's going down. But guys, if you love what me, Kimberly, and Eman has to say, you can follow all of us on social media. Our handles are on the screen. Their information is in the description box of this video. And like always, you can head over to my channel tab right now. Bam, you got Eman right here at the right, Kimberly right here, right below them. Please subscribe to both of these lovely people on the YouTubes, on the Facebooks, all the social medias, all that good stuff. Them two and myself would really appreciate it. But guys, are you ready to get into the spoilers of this film that has been in development since the beginning of time? Black Adam, starring The Rock. Are you guys ready?
Let's do this.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
And again, guys, I want to thank you so much for tuning in to our Black Adam spoiler movie review. Also, want to let you know that after this broadcast ends, there will be an audio-only version as well, if that tickles your fancy. The link for that is in the description as well. It's buzzsprout.com. And also, if you just look here, I'm on Apple, Spotify, Overcast, Google, Amazon. I'm also on SoundCloud. And so make sure you do all the downloads if you do need an audio-only version. And also, before we get started, to all my moderators out there, please.
Keep on back! Keep on back! Keep on back! Keep on back!
We still doing a little Marvel DC crossover with the Dora Milaje, protecting all the idiots in the chat and all that good stuff. And so thank you, mods. Thank you, Zia. Thank you, everybody. Did I also see Miss Marcy in the chat as well? Did she just pop up? Yes, there she is. Gallivantress X, Marcy X. Hey, gang. What's going on? Thank you for being here. Hello, everyone. Thank you. What's up, Jaron? I see you too. My brother. But thank you, guys. Thank you for being here. All right, Kim, I'm going to come to you first. What did you think about this film? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Are you somewhere in between? Let us know how you felt.
Okay, so here's the thing. Overall, I absolutely loved it. However, I would describe it as a coat that you wear that you love, that you pull out and you're stunting on everybody, but it's itchy inside. And you're like, oh, I got some issues with this, but it looks good and I'm gonna wear it. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. Overall, it was dope. Overall, I loved it. But when I get into the meat of it, I had several issues. But like The Rock is so excellent in doing, which I still think he needs to be president, he really made you believe. He made you go, okay, there's some issues, but I'm gonna hang in there with you. I'm gonna see what you got for Black Adam's next appearance. There's some issues I want to talk about, but overall, I feel like he brought it. I feel like he was perfect for the role. There was one point where I was like, is he a little too old to play this?
Ooh.
It crossed my mind, but I didn't stay there because of Dwayne Johnson. Because I said, you know what? No, look at him. This is his dream. He believed in it. $7 production. I'm so inspired by this man. Like one, I love his production company. It's called $7 because at one time in his life, that's all he had. And he was like, but I'm still going to persevere. And this whole movie is really an example of persevering. It's hard to get a movie made in Hollywood. Even if you're a star, it's really difficult to do. So the fact that he overcame like 15 years of trying to get this going, even while the world's like, oh, you're The Rock, you're great, it was still difficult to do. And I think to now be at this place and to see the final product, I am really happy for everyone that was involved in the film. But I do have some issues, but the issues that I have, I feel like if they just take note, the next one will be better. I haven't lost faith.
Okay, that's what's up. Well, thank you for that. I love it. I most likely agree with you on a lot of things. Also, the coat analogy was perfect. I liked it a lot. So thumbs up. And I just have to say, ma'am, your makeup is popping today. You're looking great. Your smile is beautiful. All that. You're winning over there. You're shining like the sun. Keep it up.
Oh, thank you, Fenty.
You're welcome. Eman, jump in here, my brother. How did you feel about the film?
I mean, very similar. I don't think I was as high as Kim was, but I like the movie. I like the movie. Not high, just high in terms of excitement and love, you know. But no, listen, I had a good time with the movie. It was cool. It did its job. It checked a lot of the superhero movie check boxes And it did fall short in a couple things, you know, and I don't think the movie had any deal breakers. It did have some flaws. We'll get into a lot of that. But yeah, I mean, look, overall, if you're going in there for the action, you like The Rock, you're gonna come out there satisfied one way or another. So that was pretty much the basis I was going in with, and I was satisfied with that.
Nice. Okay, share some of those sentiments as well. Think that we agreeing to just over our overall enjoyment for the film, but I have some issues too. The Rock did show up and show out. It was extremely violent, and I love all the action. But I'm satisfied. I'm happy. I'm not disappointed with this film. We're gonna get into it though. I have my nitpicks as well, but yeah, overall, I really did enjoy it.
Here comes a new challenger.
Man, people just keep on popping up. Got another challenger backstage. Can y'all guess who it is? Coming to the stage right now.
You, Paul. I'm gonna clean you out again.
Welcome, I'm Lando Calrissian. I'm the administrator of this facility.
Wookiees stand out in the crowd. It's good to see you too, old buddy.
We had each other.
Hold on, Chewie.
Yes, it's Mr. Elliot with Movie Files, aka Lando Calrissian, keeping us safe from the intergalactic white supremacists. What's going on, my brother? How you doing today?
I'm good, man. We talking DCB, so I had to come through and show some love and shout out to Eman with the blue. It's hopeful in the DC universe right now.
Already. Now I have had you on the panel with Kim before, right?
Yes. How we doing today, Kim? How we doing?
Make sure.
Elliot. I love sharing Elliot's energy.
That's what's up. And Elliot, you guys know Elliot with Movie Files. Follow him on social media. His info is in the description on my channel tab as well. Everybody give him a round of applause. This man is on fire with his channel going, hitting 40K. Finna hit 50K before the end of the year.
Congrats to you, man. No, 40, man. Throwing that right back to you, bro.
I'm taking pages out of your book, so I'm taking pages out of your book. But
hey,
again,
Brandon,
what's up?
On that note, everyone needs to give a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Share on your social media what you're watching right now, and make sure you subscribe and get a friend to subscribe as well, because you do a lot of work on the show. You put a lot of work into it. You provide some great movie news, and we need to support you, man.
Thank you. I love it. Thank you so much. Now, Elliot, we're coming to you now, my brother. How did you feel about this film overall? Did you like it? You hate it? You somewhere in between? How did you feel overall?
Extremely entertained, man. I walked into this with some pretty exciting expectations. I'm a DC fan. I'm a Rock fan. I want more for this universe to continue to build and to have more of these characters interact with each other. So I came in with some pretty high expectations, and I walked out pretty satisfied. Again, I knew it was going to be action packed, and it definitely delivered in that department. We'll get into some of my criticisms. The story wasn't, for 15 years in the making. I thought the story would have been a little bit more cohesive and a little bit more better, I guess the word that comes to mind. But even putting that aside, I was very, very pleased with what The Rock delivered as far as giving us something new from his sensibilities as an actor. There is some Rock Dwayne Johnson in the character, but also I thought that he did deliver a little bit more channeling his inner heel days when he was a wrestler. So overall, I was pretty satisfied with it, and I'm excited to see what the future holds for these characters in the DC universe.
Right on. That's what's up, man. We all have the same energy, so I love that. Shout out to Larry in the chat. What's going on, Larry? And so, guys, let me just say this real quick. I don't know if you guys have seen this right here. This is the Black Superman Shazam, the Return of Black Adam. This is where Black Adam was introduced to me. I didn't know anything about Black Adam until I saw this right here, a short 15-minute film. And I will say this is kind of where my expectations were. I was thinking that we were going to get a Black Adam like this character in this film right here. And Eman, I was watching a bit of your live stream last night, and I do agree with you on. I don't know if this is necessarily a criticism. It may have been something I wanted at least, but Black Adam was not mean really in this film, especially in this. He was kind of dang near evil, and that was kind of something I was looking forward to. And so, I mean, you guys can jump in and comment on that whenever you want. But starting out at the very beginning, how did you guys? I'm gonna come to you first now, Eman. How did you feel about the origin of the film, the opening credits with the introduction to conduct and slavery, and I forgot the mineral that they were digging up, Ethereum or something like that. Yeah, and apparently it's a weakness to Black Adam and knocked him on his ass. But how did you feel about the overall introduction of the film and the way things opened up?
You know what? Look, at first, I did think, like, while I was watching the movie, I was like, woo, we getting exposition heavy. Like, it is, we just gonna keep on with this, you know, like, I thought we was gonna do a quick little montage, you know, to get to the point. But what I did appreciate at the end of the story is how it actually came together. So if you take the beginning and the end and you look at it together, now I'm like, okay. That worked because it did subvert our expectations. And, you know, if you're a comic fan, it also subverted your expectations. If you thought you knew what Black Adam's origin was, well, this did kind of turn it around a little bit. So as a person that has been familiar with him in the comics, I appreciated that because I didn't see it coming. So even though it was a little drawn out in the beginning, it paid off at the end. So I'm always good if the payoff matters. The ends justify the means for me.
Gotcha. Elliot, how'd you feel about the intro?
Yeah, you know, so again, going back to my love of DC, I love all the different places we can go with, whether it's Metropolis or Gotham or Themyscira in this case, what we get in this film. And I love how this film kind of introduces us to, again, what I love about the DC is that we're not just like, and no diss to Marvel, we're not just in New York City or LA. We're actually at a place that has its own history, its own, you know, minerals that people are down for. So I love that we kind of, it was a little exposition heavy, but again, knowing that this is the first time that this character has been presented in a live action form, I thought it was necessary to kind of introduce the people that aren't too familiar with the character to his world, and like Eman said, how it tied into the end, which I thought was a little hokey with the zombie skeleton creature.
Oh, that was that. Yeah, we'll get to that. Oh.
Yeah, but overall, again, just thinking of how we introduced Wonder Woman, Themyscira, and even Men of Steel, which, you know, this film has a lot of action beats to that, but just seeing how that film opened up and Krypton, and just I love these worlds that the DC universe has to offer. So I was pretty happy with it to open the film.
Okay. Where you at, Kim? How'd you feel about the opening?
I really understand where you guys are coming from. It's interesting, Eman. I actually thought that I needed more origin.
Oh, okay.
I needed more exposition, but I understand where you're coming from. It was one of those work smarter, not harder type things. I feel like the time that they used with the opening exposition sequence, I wanted it to be a little bit more dense. I know they had to chop up the flashbacks because we really got the meat of the flashback right before the third act.
Yeah.
However, I would have preferred that in the front. And actually, when talking about the universe, I would have preferred T'Challa-like introduction. I would have liked to see Shazam 2 first, had an introduction of Black Adam, and make you go, who is that? Oh, he's evil. Oh, he's real evil. And I would have liked to have in my mind that this is a bad dude. He's evil. He's super powerful, but he's messed up. And then I would have liked to come to the film Black Adam and then had that moment of, oh, this is his backstory.
Right.
Oh, he's a grieving father.
Yeah.
Oh, now I feel him. So then when we had that turn in the story where he chooses and makes that choice, and I know I'm kind of getting down the line a little here, but where he does choose to say and kind of submit and say Shazam, I feel like it would have been more earned had I been introduced to the evil part of him. Because honestly, throughout this film, I didn't feel like he was a bad arse. You know, I not like that, but I didn't feel the evilness that you should feel with Black Adam before you think, oh, is he a hero? Oh, no, he's an anti-hero. I didn't have that balance.
Yes.
I felt like he's a hero. He's a hurting father. And if you just stop fighting and talk to him, he'll be a pretty compassionate guy.
Yeah. Can I piggyback on that? Like, that was one of my issues too. I was like, he's not enough anti of the anti-hero.
Yes.
And I listen, if they had done that, I would have loved it. If we had just came smack dab with a mean Black Adam and we like, who is this guy? Why is he so mean? And then later see the counter perspective, and now we have to challenge our perspectives. That would have been dope. And I also would have been cool if they just stretched the exposition out and told the story in parallel throughout. So that way, as we go, we're learning more about him. And then by the time we get to the end and you match it with the climax, I think that would have worked as well. But, you know, either way, we understood where he came from. It worked. So,
but it does. And I don't want to jump too much, but just in terms of like the beginning, I will say, okay, cool. I will say I did like the kid narrating. I don't mind narrating as exposition at all. As long as the graphics match and the story is cohesive. But I was with my nephew, shout out to the nephews, watching this film, and I turned to him and I said, as soon as they cut off and went to modern time, I said, wait, what? It wasn't complete for me. I was like, huh? I needed that scene that was shown later in the film really to be attached, because it wasn't cohesive enough. But the first, I want to say 45 minutes of the film, I was excited, but I was like, this is great. Please don't tell me you're going to continue with this pacing. This is really jumbled. And I'm going to need you to slow down, and I'm going to need you to explain a little bit more so that I can get on board with him. Because it was like, here's Kunduk, which oddly reminded me of the Fifth Element. It reminded me of that world in the 23rd century somehow. But here's this place, and here's our struggle, and here he is. And I wanted him to have more of a moment. I mean, when he came on screen, I was like, okay, I like that. I like that he just rose. I like the lightning, but I felt like I needed more of an entrance.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm gonna push back on that last part, because I thought that was fire. I like the opening. I like the all the exposition. It was a lot and it was obvious, but for some reason a wave of I don't care came over me and I was enjoying it. I do like narration. Sometimes it cannot work, like in the recent Netflix film, The School for Good and Evil. You know, they was trying to tell a story. They had title cards and narration all at the same time. You know, it was just too sloppy. But and for this, it was a lot. But I still liked it. You know, and of course, I'm always going to be a fan of, you know, people trying to free themselves from slavery and things like that. So I may be a little bit biased, but I did like that. Before I get my next question or go move on to the next part, Marcy X for $20. Thank you so much, Marcy. And you know what we got to do for the dub. Thank you so much, ma'am. Teth Adam, aka Black Adam, had some issues, but overall it was good. I was very entertained. The mineral was called Ethereum. Eternium. Thank you if I still said that correctly or not.
Sound like something from He-Man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And let me grab this other one real quick. From Sir James Brown for $1.99. Thank you.
What a money reside. What a money reside. What a money reside. What a money reside.
The writing was trash. It had Gen X all over it. Hey, you know, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. But thank you so much, Sir James Brown. I really do appreciate the super chat. Now, guys, something that kind of surprised me was this whole film took place in one location. It was in the conduct. I kind of thought it was going to be global or, you know, bounce from country to country. Did that bother y'all at all, or did that work?
Something that did bother me about that was I didn't get enough amazement from Teth Adam of this is what 5,000 years looks like. He was just like, you went from your time to 5,000 years and you saw a TV and you're like, wizardry.
That quick.
I needed you to be like, you know, like that movie Blast from the Past with Brendan Fraser and Alicia Silverstone, you know, where it's like, whoa, or all the movies we've seen where someone jumps in time and they come to the same place, but years later, there's this like, whoa, what is that air conditioning? What is that television? What is this door? You know, like he wasn't amazed enough to be in his space. He just kind of was like, 5,000 years. I wanted more from that.
I see what you're saying, but do you think it would have been kind of goofy if he was up here trying to figure out the remote control or the thermostat or what is it, a refrigerator?
You didn't have to be goofy. You could have. Right. I mean, there's some decent comic relief throughout the film, and the brother, I love that guy. Baby, come back. That's my dude. But the comic relief, I feel like you actually didn't have to make it goofy, like, boy, what's a freezer? Like, you didn't have to do that, but you could have had this like moment of touching the TV and trying to touch John Wayne, you know, in that scene, and tiny God, why is the God so tiny? Why can't I touch him? Is this his shield? Like, you could have had a creative way to do that, but that took away the world building for me a little bit. Just a little bit.
I listen, that was part of my issue with the writing in general. I mean, the writing, and we'll get into more of that, is problematic just because I felt like they took too many shortcuts with things. That was one of them. I'm like, how are you 5,000 years old? You literally just woke up and now you know what a catchphrase is. How do you know that? Like, I'm not even going, and listen, I've given this movie a lot of grace. Okay. I'm not even going to talk about the fact that this man ain't got no accent from his native land. And he just talking like an American, like The Rock. I'm going to give that some grace. And I'm just going to say, you know what? Magic. You know, that's just that Shazam magic. That's part of the wizardry. Everybody can understand him. I'll just go with that. But how you just going to know what a catchphrase is? Just,
like when Dr. Fate said, I'm being sarcastic. He didn't go, what is sarcasm? He went,
that worked.
He kind of went like, oh, sarcasm. Yeah, I got you. Sarcasm.
You
don't know what that is.
That's a way, I think, for people to kind of like, for the writing to kind of like gracefully introduce these things like, oh, okay, you said something, you didn't mean it. Okay, I get it. Like, I can catch on. And sooner or later, you saw him actually utilize sarcasm. That was fine. But the fact that this man was just like, oh, catchphrase. Okay, man in black. And it's like, come on now. Y'all just going for the joke. I get the joke. Yeah, but it's like you're compromising the quality of the writing for the sake of a cheap joke. That to me is like, you ain't got to do that. You could do it gracefully.
Elliot,
Eman hit on it, and that's how I kind of accepted some of those shortcomings because, and I'm not the biggest Shazam connoisseur as far as the lore and all that, but I do remember, you know, as Eman kind of alluded to, the knowledge of Solomon and stuff like that. So I assume like, and that's why I kind of forgive and also don't like some of the slow motion. Like I always interpreted it as he was just like taking everything in at such a quick breakneck fast, especially when he's in the combat and learning the machinery and all the forces around him. And even a small moment with the John Wayne scene, I just assume that he's just absorbing all this because he has those powers of just adapting to his environment. I think Emmanuel even said in this film, the longer he sits in this environment, the quicker he can adapt to it. So that's how I just kind of put that aside. And it's like, he has the God's powers of knowledge and obtaining knowledge in such a quick amount of time than any human being would be able to. So that's why I kind of took that in as that moment. Just like, I would have loved to have seen more of that fish out of water story. But I just kind of accepted it with the knowledge that he was gained from Shazam.
Well, how did y'all feel about his interactions with Eamon, the son? Because I liked Eamon. I like their. I mean, some of the. Look, I don't ever want to see a skateboard again, or for a long time. That was really overused, especially. Oh, y'all touched on it a second ago when the skeleton people came and there was the camera was panning around and he's like gliding on the skateboard as he's about to go to war. I'm like, oh, that was kind of cringe. But overall, I still like Eamon, and I like the fact that y'all were kind of talking about shortcuts, but that's what his character was used for, to put him on game. You know, he was the connecting tissue between us and the audience and Black Adam. Like, hey, bro, you're a hero. I know who you are. There's your statue, which we found out later was his son. I liked all of that. I think maybe that kind of distracted me from you guys' criticism about the John Wayne and him adapting, because I don't know. I thought that was very actually clever writing.
He talked to him for 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was off screen. It was off screen to kind of.
Now, here's the thing. Yeah. I understood what they were going for with the son. You know, with Eamon, that to me could have been emphasized more. Yeah. With the whole like, you remind me of my son. Exactly. If they had leaned into that more, that now of course I think it's implied Because I mean, when I look at it and I think about it, I'm like, okay, whenever he looks at him, smiles, I can see that. But like, just for the sake of the audience, a quick flashback. I'm looking at Eamon, a flashback of my son, stuff like that. Just those little subtle moments of subtext go a very long way, you know, and that in itself could have really solidified their relationship and, you know, just, I think furthered the story a little bit more emotionally.
To that point, Eamon, that's like when Eamon was doing the whole symbol thing, and he had Black Adam help him out. That would have been a great cut to him seeing his son do the same thing that he did 5,000 years ago, to make you again, to emphasize how he is so you know, concerned and wants to protect this little kid, which speaks to him being the protector of this country. So
okay, I'm not
By the
mad
way,
at that.
I love that everyone's a Jay-Z fan. In that
I said the same thing. I was like, they throwed up the rock. They throwed up the rock.
Yes. I was like, and well, yeah. I actually wish the kid would have been like, "You like Jay-Z too?" Like
that would have been dope.
That would have been really funny. You touched on something interesting, Brandon, when you were talking about Amanda Waller real quick. Like, I know it was supposed to be a cameo for her. Elliot, I'm sorry. I know it was supposed to be a cameo for her. However, and this, I don't want to step on your toes segueing into the next topic, but however, I wanted a little bit more from her. I know with the time in a film, you can't give everyone equal time, but she just popped on and real quick he had been there, half a day, and already she was like, this is his profile. This is what we need to be worried about. This is what could happen. These are the possibilities. Hawkman, I need you to get on it. I'm like, you just saw a clip on YouTube of this guy flying just now. It should have been at least more of an angle of we've detected another super species, another person with powers. We need you. It could have been fixed like this. She could have said, we need you to go in and see what he's all about. Instead of giving me a full criminal profile after he just rose from the dead. Like, really? But I wanted a little bit more from her. But dude, something I liked, I don't know anything about Black Adam. I'll tell you right now. This was my complete first introduction to Black Adam and that storyline. All right. However, I really enjoyed the continuity of bringing together Shazam. I know that's in the comics. I know people are like, duh, Kim, like it's the same wizard, Shazam. But in terms of bringing Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson into the DC universe and making him feel like family, I really like the way they did that. And how his son was kind of the first Shazam. I thought that was really cool for someone like me who's not familiar with the character too much. I really thought that was cool to make The Rock feel like you're a part of the DC universe now.
Right on. What's up, OG Millie Mills? What's good? Got another super chat. Marcy, oh my goodness gracious. Thank you so much. Oh, where did it go? I clicked the wrong button. Where the super? Okay. How I understand the movie is this is The Rock playing Hobbs that was playing Black Adam.
I mean, you can say the same thing about The Rock in Fast and the Furious, you know, like whether it's Hobbs or Shaw, whether it's Fast, I mean, they both caught missiles. They both literally barehanded missiles.
Right.
So
good point.
Yeah. Same thing.
Thank you, Marcia. Thank you. And also Lavery Adams, not finna say $5, £5. Thank you so much, my brother. I really do appreciate it. Oh, let me there we go. Yes! For me, the movie was a bunch of goo. I couldn't wait for it to be over. My goodness. The Rock's time and talent was wasted in this movie. Sigh. Man, Mr. Adam. You feel that way?
Hey,
you know, it is what it is, though, man. All things are subjective. I'm sorry. Ellie, did you have something to say on that point? Or are you good?
What was the last point we were talking about? The
damn, I forgot that.
Just Amanda Waller, like
knowing
everything today.
Yes, the more Viola Davis, the better, right? She's a world-class actress, and would love to see her in more of it. I think to your point, and this speaks to another thing that going back to the world building, the inner game. Like, I wonder who funded.
That was my next question.
Where they come from? Technology I've ever seen. So I was just kind of putting pieces in my head and knowing Amanda Waller, like she's so like more, you know, evil stuff than sometimes good. I thought that I thought she was the leader of the Interlinks and kind of explain why she knew more about Black Adam, because she has intels and people taking tabs on him. So yes, I thought that would have been more interesting to dive a little bit deeper into how she knew so much and if she was maybe part of why this country was oppressed. So definitely could have built on that a little bit more. Maybe Peacemaker season 2. We'll dive into that, because I'm just thinking about that. Just thinking about the world building, she should not be in control of task force. As if you all have seen Peacemaker, because not to give that away, but let's just say she's not head of task force X anymore. So I'm very confused on the timeline of this film too. So
yeah, man, that's the timeline and all that is my biggest gripe, but I'll talk about that in a second.
Present day.
Yeah, that was
whatever that means. I was like, is this the year 3000? Where y'all get all this Wakanda gear from? What is going on?
Right. And thank you for bringing it up, Elliot. That was my next question. Like, how did you guys? I'm gonna start with you, Kim. How did y'all feel about Intergang and them oppressing this? I don't even know how big Kondak was. If y'all can kind of give an educated guess, I don't know. But how did you feel about Intergang and everything that they had going on in the film?
Here's the thing. I would have liked, again, work smarter, not harder. I think that you could have explained more about the origin, not only of Black Adam, but of modern day Kondak. I hope I'm saying that right. What is their political, socioeconomic situation? I know they said we're oppressed. I know it did show the mom, her having to go in and just to get to your own home, your car's being screened. Like, she couldn't even go home without people who weren't from there, looking through her brother's car, like, who's in here, Like, I understand that. I would have liked more explanation so I could feel more for you about your oppression. In storytelling, if I know more about your oppression other than we're oppressed, I want to know how.
Yeah, very surface
In
level.
what way? Are they not letting you cook what you want to cook? Are they turning the TV off? Is this North Korea like oppression? Or is this like, or is this, or what is it? Or is it like, oh man, like is it communism? Like, like what exactly is your plight?
Right.
My dude? Like, so I wanted to know more about that. And I was trying to hold this for later in the film and later in the review, but I'll say it now. And I don't mean to deter things. However, I have to say this because it bothered me. The Intergang, I feel like, let me start over. For DC, this was a wonderful opportunity in introducing Black Adam and introducing a new member to this universe to kind of really be like, yes, we're back. This is DC. We're turning our leaf. Better storytelling. There were way too many parallels to Marvel movies in here. The Intergang on their bikes were just like the Shatari going through New York, and it really bothered me. It really bothered me. When he was fighting one of the Intergang on the bike, all I could think of was Black Widow hopping on to the bike of the Shatari as they were going through New York. Like, it really bugged me. There's some more parallels. I know Dr. Fate, in terms of the comics and when they were written, he came before Doctor Strange. Like, I know that. But in terms of what we've seen on screen, we saw Doctor Strange first. And when he multiplied himself, I was like, where have I seen this before? The virtual effects with it looking like matter is breaking into glass. Where have I seen this before?
Oh, the mirror dimension, eh?
I just felt like it was too much. Maybe they should have been on a hovercraft or something. Maybe they should have been on, I don't know, magic skates, something. But they just look like the Shatari, and it bothered me.
I feel you. At first I wasn't, but you made your valid point. Before, and of course I have my Dr. Fate criticisms and also triumphs. Eman, do you have more commentary on Intergang likes and dislikes?
They were just it was a plot device. That's all.
Okay.
They were just there to insert gang here. It could have literally been anybody. There was no significance to them. Again, I have no idea what they're being oppressed for. Is there a war going on? Are they also looking for the Eternium or whatever? Like, do they just want money? Like, is there a natural resource here? I have no idea why you guys are here. I have no idea how long you guys have been here.
I was just about to say that.
They had a great opportunity to at least tie it into the eventual villain. maybe it was something like, oh man, the dynasty still lived on and they kept oppressing people. Something, you know, because I'm sitting here like,
that right there.
Why are you guys here? What is happening here? There's no connection to even why Amanda Waller is involved or why she cares or why they haven't intervened. You got a whole world full, you literally got a Justice League. You got a whole Justice League and ain't nobody stepped foot anywhere.
They were busy, Eman. They were busy fighting.
Okay, all right, Captain Marvel. All right, whatever. You know, listen, all I'm saying is like, this is what happens when you take shortcuts. This is what happens when you don't care and all you want is the flash and not the story. And I keep trying to tell people, if you focus on the story, the fans will come. It's
if
fine.
You care, we care.
Yeah, exactly. If you invest in that, we will come and care about it. People don't always care about the flashy, funny, cheap stuff in superhero movies. They care in the long term of like the story, the development, the world building, the basic foundations that make these stories memorable. So like, I don't know, is anyone going to be talking about catchphrases and sarcasm and stuff 10 years from now versus when you think of like The Dark Knight, when you think of like Winter Soldier or whatever, you're thinking about the story, the dynamic between the hero and the villain, and you're thinking of the themes and stuff like that. I mean, you know, Inner Gang is another shortcut. Like, y'all could have made them meaningful, but you didn't.
I got you. Yeah, all of that didn't make sense. I mean, the bikes that they had were damn near faster than Shazam, Black Adam, and Superman themselves. He had a hard time catching them when he was trying to chase the boy all around the world. I said it was in one location. I mean, how far did they travel? He had all the energy in that bike, you know. So
were they powered by Eternium?
I think so.
I think it looked like
assume
it.
So, yeah. Because the guy
light?
used the missile.
Yeah, that blue light.
Which again, I think would be so smart to tie into Amanda Waller. She's been mining this to, you know, use it for other missions to use in the future. So again, I thought it would, going back to Kim's point, that would have been a nice little like Amanda Waller or I don't know too much about the Inner Gang. I just looked them up briefly. There's been a couple different big names that have been leaders, one being Lex Luthor and another one being Darkseid. So that would have been talking about world building. That would have been even another little cool little nod to the future.
Yeah, and this movie was only 2 hours and 4 minutes. Y'all feel like it could have been longer to stretch all that out? Okay.
I would not have been mad.
Given all the stuff they wanted to set up, it would have benefited by an extra 20 minutes.
I was just gonna say 20 minutes. I'm right there with you, man. Yeah.
How'd y'all feel about Ellie, I'm coming to you. How'd you feel about Ishmael, the traitor, or Sabak? You know, early was it obvious to you who he was, that he was a snake in the grass? Was it a surprise, like the Sixth Sense, like, oh my God, I didn't see it coming? I doubt it. But I mean, did you have any I mean, he wasn't like a big deal, but I just kind of saw his name up here.
Yeah, he was kind of an afterthought for me. And the film kind of addressed his betrayal when the guy fell off the mountain. I'm like, come on, that seems a little bit too on the nose. And then when the way he was like, oh, he's taking a breather out. I'm like, yeah, this guy is clearly with him. And I think they say it pretty early too, that he called the people and was like, oh, our plan is kind of diverted, which again, who funded all this? Who was he? The big bad? Was he, you know, the person that created this gang? But anyway, to answer your question, I thought that he was just an afterthought. He was just kind of thrown in periodically throughout the film, popped up at the beginning, looked for the crown in the middle, and then became the big bad at the end. So it was just kind of a throwaway, kind of a villain at that point. They just threw him in just for the sake of having a villain. Gotcha.
Now, of course, I mean, we still got so much to say, but let's go ahead and talk about the titular character one more time, Mr. Black Adam himself. How did y'all feel about his introduction when they were about to get their face blown off by the terrorist, and she saw the inscription on the ground, read it, it started lighting up, Shazam came, your magic is weak. I will go ahead and say I thought it was absolutely badass. The way that score came in with that bass and just showing him rise up real slow with the bullets hitting him. And they took extra long time to introduce him as well. That was a long ass intro, but I was eating it up, man. I was eating it up. Goes all the way back to the original Man of Steel when I forgot the Kryptonian's name, the lady that was punching the not, I guess the cops or the bad guys, like just zoom, 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 zoom.
Yeah.
I was just like eating it up like this. You know, Elliot, how did you feel about that intro and the introduction to Black Adam? Did it reach your expectations, or were you disappointed?
Like you said, B. So first off, Man of Steel to me is like so misunderstood. It's such a fantastic movie, and the action. We all know Zack Snyder. His stories are a little bit not the best sometimes, but the man knows how to shoot action. That's what I loved about these action sequences, and particularly this first one is seeing that super speed of someone like Black Adam, and just in a blink of an eye, he's ripping your heads off. Which I know they mentioned a couple days ago. This film was almost rated R because it was, and you can see where some of that could have been because it was pretty gruesome. Grabbing the one guy, his arm drops off, and I was here for it, man. I thought the action was very well shot, really well put together, and again, just on that super speed and the velocity and the brutality. And going back to when you mentioned Shazam, Superman, and the Return of Black Adam, one of my favorite elements of that is how savage, Shazam or Black Adam is, and we get to see that in this moment here. Going back to us saying like we wish we would have got more of that evil, menacing side of it. This to me was just like he didn't care who was in there. He was just ripping your head off, blowing you up, tearing you apart, minus him saving the one of the main characters. But I really enjoyed this interest. It was very much Man of Steel.
Nice. And to echo and to tap onto that Eman, I want to hear from you, same thing, but he did save old girl. Yeah. It was kind of subconscious too. I don't like it, just like I like that how they threw that in. I'm like, okay, he got some good in him. How did you feel about the whole sequence right there, Eman?
Well, the sequence I liked, and I had no issue with the violence was great. Like I'm like, okay, this is the Black Adam I know. Like it's all about that action. We ain't asking no questions. It's on site. And, he always did care about his people so I was like, okay, it looked like he recognized it was like, okay, you from the west side of town. So I got your back. You good. And he was just there with it. So I was fine with all of that. I'm going to say though, the soundtrack took me completely out. The whole score took me out.
Bro,
I was like, who turned on their
iPod
from 2010 and just started playing music? It just did not match. It did not sing.
100%.
It took me out because I'm sitting there like I would have rather watched it in mute and just hear everybody just screaming in pain. But nah, man, I'm sorry. It just, what was it? Smashing Pumpkins that was playing or whatever it was. I don't know. It just was completely out of sync for me. I ain't knocking nobody else's playlist. I'm just saying those particular songs were not a good fit for me.
I got you, man. You making me want to see it again, like after this broadcast ends, and make sure I'm not tripping. But Kim, jump in. How did you feel about this sequence right here of Black Adam kicking all types of ass?
In terms of in terms of the whole beginning of the movie and needing more exposition, I'm not knocking that sequence. That sequence was dope. It was so good. I really enjoyed the display of power, like taking away the backstory. Let's just talk about the physicality of the character. Yeah. I loved it. And in the fights, I was like, that was the way he fought was the only way that the film communicated to me that he is savage.
Mm-hmm.
Because it wasn't through story and it was not through the development of his character. It was only in how he fights. If you want to know a man, you got to know how he fights. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I know this man. This man will kill you. I like that. I love that. And in terms of the physicality, it's not just casting. I mean, The Rock really made this story his own. And I'm not sure, but I kind of believe that if he hadn't played him, he would have executive produced the project.
Oh, for sure.
Because he's just had that connection. It's like Deadpool with Ryan Reynolds. It's not that I always wanted to play him. There's something about this character that I know is a part of me, and I have to do this. So he would have been involved either way. But can we just say, what a wonderful person to play Black Adam. And aside from Thor, because he had his arms out, aside from Chris Hemsworth, I think he's one of the only guys in both Marvel and DC to play a superhero that didn't need padding in the costume.
Is that common? Like a lot of people need padding in their costumes?
Yeah, even the way the costume is made, like even if it's
Levi
Henry,
definitely
even
does.
if it's Henry Cavill.
I was gonna say Zach Levi.
Well, yeah,
man,
that's
Oh
what
yeah,
I'm
yeah. I
saying.
mean, that's
Jack
just,
Yeah.
Right,
that's
right.
just not
Henry
everything.
Cavill don't need no help.
I
Yeah.
know.
Henry Cavill don't need
Not
no
any
help.
That's whole laundry basket
but
in the
Henry
suit.
Cavill, his suit, he did get buff, and I'm not knocking him.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
saying he's
yeah.
Captain America before the serum. That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
But his costume still had a little bit of
Okay.
not bulk padding like Shazam, but it still had some padding. The Rock, because he said this in an interview, the first costume they gave him had that just a little bit of padding, and he said it looked ridiculous. I mean, ladies, it's like when we were 11 and we were trying to stuff our bra. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, like he was like, "Why are you doing this?"
Yeah.
And when they like his suit is actually skin tight. Those muscles you see are all him. Okay, so I
like the
love
pause there, Kim.
I love that physicality, and I love that that it brought back. I'm not a WWE fan. Like I didn't really watch him in the ring or anything. I've seen highlights and stuff, but I haven't watched it. But I felt that I kind of felt what the fans felt, and I was like, oh, this is why you guys loved him in the WWE.
He calls it
When
electricity.
He was fighting,
it's electricity.
Oh man, I love that sequence. I love that sequence.
Okay. Fellas, if you know Kim like the big arms, you know what I'm saying? If you want to shoot your shot, you got to do them tries and buys and some dips.
You know what's funny though? I actually love his dad bod.
What? There's some hope. There's some hope, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Yes.
There is hope.
You don't got to kill yourself. Okay.
I like a little comfort. No, anyway, but something in terms of the character of Black Adam. One thing, and I don't want to call her old girl. Let me get her name. Adriana, the character Adriana. Mm-hmm. One thing I really liked that it wasn't fleshed out of, like I said, of him being evil and turning to good, or at least being evil and turning to anti-hero. But she said to him, because he was like, "This is what I do. I kill." And she's like, I forgot the exact line, but to kind of sum it up, she said, "I know you'll save us. I know in the end you're going to do the right thing." She believed in him, in the goodness in him, when he didn't believe it in himself. And that's something I did pick up from the story that I did like. And I would have felt more of a punch of that had they made him more evil. But I like that she spoke to the words of T.D. Jakes. She spoke to the man inside of him, the great man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that her words really encouraged him of like, okay, I could crush his skull, but I'll make another decision. I like that dynamic.
Now, was that because to me, whenever I heard her saying that, I felt like she was speaking to the legend of the man, rather than him. Now, over the course of the movie, you know, as he was saving her son and saving her and stuff like that, then I could be like, hey, look, I saw you do this and I saw you do that. I don't feel we got the latter, but it looked like she was like, look, you're a man of legend, because obviously she didn't know the truth of his real origin. But I just kept feeling like she leaned more to the legend than the actual man. But I don't know. Split hairs.
I see where you're coming from.
Yeah,
I got you. I'm loving this. Now we were just talking about the action inside in that one scene, but my goodness gracious, there was so much slow-mo when he was outside. I liked it. Was the music the same here in this scene as it was in the cave or in the? Because if my memory serves me correctly, it wasn't as nice or epic during this scene. The music, I can possibly give it to you about the playlist, but you know, during this scene right here, it was legendary. But I don't know.
Eminem playing at that scene? Was it Eminem?
I couldn't call it.
I'd have to go back.
Because that was good. I like that match. But Eman, you said it perfectly. The playlist, it reminded me of when you're jamming and you're working out and you're grooving and somebody touches your iPod and presses the wrong button and
goes on shuffle.
We're listening to Your Body is a Wonderland. Like, it just was like, at one point, I don't know what the heck the music was, but it went from like a really tight beat to like polka music.
Right.
And then it was electronica. And I was like, you had one job, whoever's in charge of the music. You had one job. And you failed. I don't want the soundtrack. I don't want it.
Now, thank you, Kim. I'm gonna come to you now, Elliot. One of my criticisms with this movie, and I did laugh at some of the jokes. However, a lot of it did feel like a Marvel movie, to where they throw in these jokes. And I don't mind jokes. It just has to work. I really don't care for jokes at all during serious moments, fighting, action, things like that. It can work if it's done right. Example, Infinity War, when Groot said, "I am Groot," and he's like, "I am Steve Rogers."
Right.
That was a perfect. I mean, that was just a perfect organic joke in a serious moment, and it worked. That was perfect. That does not always happen. So during this scene right here, after he kills everybody, he goes up to Eamon's mother, and I think it was her brother in the car, and they're rolling up the window after he done destroyed everything with the blink of his eye. I laughed at that point in time. It was funny, but there were some other moments where I was getting annoyed with some of the comedy, especially with some of the other supporting characters of Justice Society that we're going to talk about in a second. But Elliot, man, how did you feel about the comedy overall? Also, specifically, I think this is like the first funny scene where they did roll up the window. Did that work for you, or did it clock you out of the film at all?
I mean, comedy is so subjective, and like you said, to that scene, I think that scene played out better for me as far as Infinity War with Groot meeting Steve Rogers. Was just like, we know these characters, and just kind of comes with like a backstory with that joke. So I think, again, it goes to, this is our first time meeting these characters, and we don't know their comedic timing, their sensibilities of what they find funny, what they find serious. So that's why I think it kind of was in balance, because we're meeting these characters for the very first time. And by the time we get to the sequels, and he says that catchphrase, he said that in the first one. So I think it was just a matter of not getting used to these characters, and again, their sensibilities and how they operate. That just didn't work for me with the comedy. It's like, we're showing so much of this more serious, stern side of them. And then when you see a joke, it just kind of feels off-putting, because again, we haven't spent that much time with them to understand where their comedy mixes in with, are they serious all the time? Are they jokey all the time? So I think it's just a matter of getting used to this set of characters to be able to really appreciate the comedy, maybe later on. But in this film, to me, it didn't work entirely with the comedy.
Kim, were you laughing, or did you want to throw some tomatoes at the screen?
Nah, I don't want to throw tomatoes. I kind of want to just go to the writers and go, hey. That's not funny. That's not funny. That didn't hit.
So,
but I love you though. But that didn't hit at all. Okay. Like, I wasn't laughing. I think if there was one time where I was laughing, it might have been. See, that's the problem. I shouldn't have to think about it.
Okay.
It might have. It might have come from the brother. Yeah. It might have come from the Kareem. I think anytime I laughed, it was my dude Kareem. It wasn't from The Rock. I didn't cringe. I wasn't like, but I was like,
Okay, I got you. Eman, comedy, it worked for you, didn't work?
It was a mixed bag. I mean, I like comedy. To me, is an art form in itself. And whether it's stand-up, whether it's written in television, or even if it's in movies, everyone has a specific discipline in how it can work. Elliot brought up a great one about, the I am Groot thing. If you think about it and analyze it like a nerd that I am, you have to think about how long that joke took to set up to make sense. You had to take a stale Steve Rogers who just got that reference, right, versus an I am Groot, and it's like an inside joke on an inside joke on an inside joke, and that pays off. That's why I like good comedy is freaking genius, in my opinion, and cheap comedy is immediately recognizable. So for me, there were a lot of moments like the sarcasm. I love that because it was organic. It made sense. This guy just woke up 5,000 years ago. He just learned what sarcasm was. He started to apply it, and it worked. It's kind of like with Drax in Guardians of the Galaxy. He did not understand humor, and that was funny to us. But he, in the later movies, once he started to act goofy, then it wasn't as funny. So like in Black Adam, the one thing that I liked about it was, or the one thing I didn't like was when it felt like the humor was forced for the sake of a cheap joke. And like I said before, when you do that, it disrupts the cohesiveness of the story, and it kind of just makes it feel kind of loosey-goosey. And yeah, I'd be just like him, tapping that writer on the shoulder like, hey, it's time to go home. Come on. You've been up a little too late now. Come on now. We're going to cut that scene and keep it going, because here's the thing. It takes an unnecessary break. Now, one piece of humor I did like, I liked Hawkman. You know, when Hawkman was dealing with Adam, was like,
We're
you
gonna
and
talk.
me,
Yeah,
you and me.
I
love that.
That was funny because you had Adam. He's brand new. He's still a kid. Hawkman is serious. He's playing the straight man role, and that is fine. That works. So those type of things I absolutely like. But yeah, whenever The Rock was just trying to like take a comedic break for the sake of like winking at the audience and stuff, that to me, I'm like, you know, and I said this in my review. It's like going to a fine dining restaurant. You finna have a nice steak dinner and they bring you McDonald's fries. Sometimes you don't need junk food to make a movie good. Just take your time, eat the breadsticks, have that steak, and you good. You'll be fine. So yeah, I mean, it was a mixed bag. They could have cut some of that humor out. The brother was cool. I mean, you know, baby, come back. You know, like, okay, we get it, you know, but like they could have done without some of it. And I think it would have actually made for a better experience.
Right on. Guys, I know I almost forgot. We got some super chats. I'm going to grab those in just a second. And the JSA topic is going to come up in just a moment as well. But for me, like you, Eman, the comedy was a mixed bag. Some of the jokes I laughed at. Some of the jokes, it was cringe. And if I feel that way, we didn't need any comedy at all. Just take it out. You don't have to have it. I've said this in multiple reviews. I don't think any moviegoer, whether they're a fan or not, hard critic, whatever, nobody's gonna walk out of a movie and like, well, I think I enjoyed the movie, but it wasn't funny enough. There just wasn't enough jokes. If they put more jokes in there, I would have liked it more. I just don't see that as realistic. I could be wrong. If you're watching the live or the replay, let me know in the comment section. Go ahead.
That's a good point. I was just gonna say comedy is a risk because it's so subjective. So if you're gonna do it, you better do it where the vast majority of people are gonna laugh at it. If it's slapstick, goofy comedy, that's not everyone's taste. If it's dry humor, that doesn't work for everyone either. So you have to make sure if you're gonna put it in there, it's worth it. And I would say it either adds to the character, breaks some levity in a positive way, or just does something positive for the audience. But you know, it's a
you know what they can do. Like we all we're all content creators. I think we all know what it means to shoot for the edit. Like, okay, I'm going to record this. I don't know if it's going to work, so I'm going to say it in a certain way to where if it doesn't work, I can easily chop it out off the timeline. I mean, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but I do that all the time, you know, in my reviews. And so, yeah, if you're not too confident, you know, shoot for the edit, put it in testing. If the people didn't laugh, you know, cut it out. If it worked, leave it in. That's just my 2 cents on that. And one of the comedy things that just really knocked me out the water was when it was about to go down, kind of as we're getting into the third act. But prior, we found out that the brother of Eamon's mother is only going to die from electricity or you know, electrical accident. So when he shows up to fight, it's okay. I'm only going to die from like electricity. I wanted to punch the screen, man. I was like, why did y'all kill this nice heroic moment like this? It was kind of like in Doctor Strange 1 where the cape rubbed his face. You know, it pissed me off. So I don't know. You guys let me know how you feel. Let me grab some of these super chats. Okay. Did I get this one already? I did. I got that one.
Thank you.
Brian EBK 189. Peace, Brandon. This movie was so bad, it's good. My goodness gracious. But Brian, thank you so much for the super chat. I do appreciate it. Mr. Adam again for £5. I love the Superman cameo. The way he was carrying himself made me wonder if that wasn't another version of the character, maybe Flashpoint effect. We're going to talk about that because I'm going to say that for later. Because in my theater, when I saw it, I couldn't understand what they were saying because everybody was screaming in excitement.
Everyone was screaming.
I didn't hear any lines of dialogue. But Mr.
You didn't
Adam,
miss
thank
anything.
You. Okay.
No one screamed in mine.
Oh, okay, I got you. Thank you, Mr. Adam. And Cynthia Charles, $4.99 hashtag Jonathan Majors wouldn't need padding for his costume either. Lord,
Cynthia, calm down. She bringing that fire from my live chat. Cynthia, calm down. Calm down now.
Hilarious.
I put up 2 pictures of Jonathan Majors. The whole chat melted.
If I remember, Cynthia, I got you at the end of this broadcast. But before we get to the JSA, I just want to ask y'all. I kind of wish that they kind of would have made this circle back around. He got taken out by an Ethereum missile. Like it laid him out. That's a big deal. I kind of wanted them to circle back to that or talk about it. Like you know, he just got his ass beat and
his
woke up in the
kryptonite?
apartment and it never circled back around. I think that was a missed opportunity. I mean, y'all have any comments there? Because that kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
I agree with you, man. They should have. My nephew turned to me and goes, "Oh, so that's his kryptonite."
Yeah.
And it's like any of us would have. Yeah. But the interesting thing is why?
Why? Right.
Is he from
right.
planet Ethereum? No, because he was created by wizards. But are the wizards from? Does their power come from Ethereum? They could have tied in more of the wizards. And how do the wizards feel about Ethereum? Like,
thank you, Kim. Just real quick, I'm sorry. Yeah. We should have got even more. They just kept flashing them in there. I wanted can we get a conversation or something like you know, like I wanted more wizard stuff.
More wizards, because at the end when we got Titan, which I have so much to say about that, and it was almost the DC's version of the Upside Down, and you had your bad wizards. Why? What's the history with the wizards? Because Jimon Hansu, who I love, by the way, I want to know. This was a great chance for us to give, for them to give us 2 minutes. Just give me 2 minutes of his backstory, because he was fascinating in Shazam, what he brought to the table and how. Say my name. Why do I need to say your name? What is it about your name? Was it ever someone else's name? Who gave you the power for your name? I totally agree with you. I would have liked a good, out of the 2 hours and 4 minutes, I would have liked a good 2 to 5 minutes of just wizard storyline, because that would have explained Ethereum and that would have explained this Upside Down that we have that produced Satan. I totally agree with you. I would have liked more, and I want to know about Ethereum. But I feel like in Black Adam 2, which by the way, they said it's in the works. We already got that from Danny Garcia. I think that'll play more of a major role. I think you're going to get that in Black Adam 2.
It feels like they're about to do too much catch up. I mean, it felt like this movie was going too far, too fast, and doing too much, and trying to just focus on Black Adam. Like, we got The Rock. We have to focus on The Rock. And I'm like, look, if y'all plan on doing this, you know it's going to be successful. You know people going to watch. Take your time and tell the story. You can't keep introducing new things that make no sense for someone who probably doesn't even know what half of these things are, never read a comic book, never, you know, had any backstory. Like, I'm sitting here wondering, like, I didn't even know, and I've read some of these things. I didn't even know there was an upside down wizard clan tribe that I didn't know. I was like, where y'all come from? Who are y'all? There are more? Like, what world is this? So I had questions as well. And the fact that they couldn't just throw a little something, I'm telling you, 20 more minutes. 20 more minutes would have done wonders.
20 more minutes. Eman speaking facts. Thank you, Daniel Davis. I appreciate it. All right. After this super chat, I'm gonna come to you for the next topic, Elliot. But Blur Forever for £5. Black Adam gets a 6 out of 10 for me. I'm still passing. Hawkman was the best thing about the movie. How strong is Hawkman though? But first of all, Blur Forever, thank you so much for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. And that is the perfect super chat to help us segue to the next portion of the spoiler review. The JSA, the Justice Society. We got Cyclone, Atom Smasher, Hawkman, and Pierce Brosnan, aka Dr. Fate. Elliot, how did you feel about the JSA, the Justice Society, in this film? Did it work? Did it not reach your expectations, or are you confused? Let us know, sir. Let us know.
A little bit of both for me. Number one, is great to see these characters, more particularly on the right side of the screen, Hawkman and Dr. Fate for me. No disrespect to Atom Smasher, Cyclone. It's just a lot to be desired for those characters. But these two to me really were, it almost made me wish that this was a JSA film in capturing Black Adam film versus the other way around, because I was just so intrigued by just little things that they mentioned that it seems like Kent has been away from the JSA for a while, and that there have been other versions of it. You know, I love the Henry Winkler cameo that he was once an Atom Smasher, so it established
that flew right over my head.
JSA prior to that. So, and again, the reason it's a gift and a curse with this film, because again, I know The Rock has come out and said a bazillion times in his bazillion interviews that this is kind of the phase one of this new page of the DC universe. So with a phase 1 type of ideology with creating this film. They want to plant the seeds to hopefully that they can grow later on in the future to maybe explore more of this stuff. So visually speaking, I thought JSA was cool. Unfortunately, there was a lot of things that I wish was expanded upon longer. Like if there's a JSA in this world, there's obviously a Justice League in this world. How do they feel about each other? Obviously with Hawkman, who I thought was fantastic. Obviously, where is Hawk Girl? What's that relationship with origins? Are we pulling from Carter's story? So it was just a lot. And this is the good thing, right? This is like, you want more. You want to walk out of the film and say, I want to learn more about that because they were so intriguing. But at the same time, you're like, I want to learn more because they didn't give me more in it. So again, it's just like a 50-50 thing with me. But being that I'm a fan of the JSA, I was happy, but I was also just kind of a little underwhelmed by the lack of backstory. And also, Dr. Fate, let's be honest, he was definitely nuked in this film because Dr. Fate could have probably took out all the threats by himself without the help of Black Adam.
Look,
but
man, bro, Eman, you next, man.
He was handicapped in this movie.
Let me first of all give a shout out to the GOAT, James Bond, Pierce Bronson, aka GoldenEye. You know, that's my man right there. That's who I grew up on, so I don't care what nobody say. Fantastic role. I liked it. I mean, I was a little iffy about the whole, like, let me take my helmet off, put it on, take it off, put it on. But I'm like, Pierce, I know we got to see your face. I get it. But I like, seriously, like, I get it. I understand. We have to see you. You know, this is why I always get iffy when actors want to take on roles of characters that when they put the mask on, you don't barely see them.
Shout out to Pedro Pascal with the Mandalorian.
It took me decades to know what Dr. Fate looked like.
Yeah,
in cartoons, because when he puts the helmet on, he's possessed. Like he is not himself, and it takes a lot just to take it off. But that's fine. We're gonna give a pass because shout out to Pierce Bronson. But you know, like, I love the visual effects, by the way, for Dr. Fate, just in terms of how he looked. I do agree that he was kind of Doctor Strange-ish, and they had so much opportunity to make him different and to just diversify his character visually from what we've already seen. And I totally agree with Elliot. Dr. Fate is usually like, oh, is Thanos here? Let me just go stop him. Like, he is that last card of, he's the big Joker. He's not somebody like, oh, I'll just join y'all team and see what happens, you know, put a little spell and everything's cool. No, he's the big Joker of all. So anyway, so I definitely liked Dr. Fate. I was a little disappointed with Cyclone. I mean, they made her all gassy and stuff, and that was cool. But like after that, I mean, I'm just saying, like after that, it was kind of like, yo, y'all just said she had 160 IQ, and I ain't even see her. I'm saying, like, yo, sound like Shuri to me. She sound like a G. Can we get more of that intellect on screen? Like, I just wanted more, right? I mean, Adam, I didn't really care. Great value, Ant-Man, whatever. He can grow. Okay, that's fine. But yeah, I mean, look, Hawkeye was definitely my favorite, for sure. Aldous Hodge was doing his great Air T'Challa impression. My man was just missing the accent. You saw the wings. I was a little disappointed that he didn't have actual wings. Like, I really thought he was going to have his wings, maybe cover him up or whatever, but I was a little disappointed that he didn't have actual wings. But yeah, like this, my man was doing his best impression of T'Challa. With the spaceship going in the water, talking about, I love it when this happens. I'm like, yo, are y'all entering Wakanda? Like, y'all just copying this. Like, y'all just looking over at their homework.
I think somebody said that in the comments
and when he was introduced, my man had the full Kente cloths on and everything. I'm like, bro, if you want to be T'Challa, say that. Because I'm with it. I'm with it. Okay. So yeah, look, but overall, and by the way, I love the fact that he never backed down to Black Adam. He was like, look, I'm about that action. I know you strong, but I'm strong too. Right. You know what I'm saying? He was, if anything, his superpower was being durable, because Black Adam was waxing him for a minute, but he just kept coming back saying he could do this all day. So yeah, I definitely liked Aldous Hodge the most in this. But yeah, a little backstory, a little something. Why is the JSA working for Amanda Waller? How did that happen? What is going on? Why are y'all here? What time is it? What year is this? I don't know. I got questions, and it sucks that they just kind of skipped over all that.
Kim, how'd you feel about the JSA?
Oh man, Eman, Elliot, you guys said so much of what I was thinking. I am right there with you guys. First of all, oh girl, She wasn't gas. She was gassy. Cyclone. First of all, let me say this as a Black woman who loves to change her hair, okay? And we are just chameleons. We have magic like that. I was frustrated with her costuming in terms of her hair. This bothered, it's so funny. You asked about the JSA. This is the first thing I'm talking about. This is how you can tell it bothered me.
You're good.
1 minute, she had Brazilian wavy number 5. And then the next minute, she had kinky curly and burgundy. Her hair changed 5 times.
Wow. I didn't notice.
I know you didn't. That's why I'm bringing it up. It was ridiculous. It made me mad. 1 minute she had braids. The next minute it was wavy and it was red. I aside from acting, I also do set dressing on film. So continuity is a huge part of what I do as a job. So making sure that things are the same when the camera gets back rolling is really important. Making sure you're not changing up wardrobe, you're not changing the hair too much, that when you cut back to the scene, it's exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I think it bothered me in terms of a continuity of the filmmaking aspect. I was like, who takes down your hair? How'd you get your braids out so fast? How are we doing that?
That's a cyclone power.
Who's your girl?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like,
I would love that.
Can we?
I was irritated.
Is it because of the nanobites? Is it because of the powers? Like maybe they maybe they can change up. I don't know.
Like when you're introducing members of a team, and we've seen this in so many superhero movies. This is why we like it. We love to see the montage of the origin story, but we also like to see the assembling. We also like to see the coming together. We also like to see, why are you the jock? Why are you the nerd? Why are you the hero? Why are you the villain? Why are you the one that pokes everyone? We like to see the personality mixed with the power and how you fit into this team. And when you had the Justice Society, there was a wonderful opportunity. Again, I'm going to keep saying this, work smarter, not harder. You didn't have to add a bunch of time. You could have used the time you had to tell the story better. And if you were going to add some more time to flesh out the Justice Society, you really could have given us not only more, but give me a minute and a half of why Cyclone is a badass. Give me a minute and a half. Give me something during the fight scene that makes me go, okay, I see you, Cyclone. She looked like she was on an ecstasy trip. She was like, the colors, ooh, the wind, oh, yeah. And I was like, this girl looks like she's on ecstasy. And that's it. Like, let me see her destroy something. Let me see her use her power to just own something. Same with Adam. I was like, you're a mix between Deadpool and Ant-Man. That's cool. But let me, show me something. I didn't get enough out of them, but Hawkman,
I wish I could have been there right next to you while you was watching this to see your reaction.
Oh, my nephews get so annoyed. They're like, can you be still? And I'm just like, I really loved him. He was the hero of the movie, which is fine because Black Adam is not supposed to be the hero. He's the anti-hero or the villain, but he's not the hero. But Hawkman was the hero. He was the leader. I love they gave him so much screen time. I totally agree with you, Eman. It was like, Elliot, I'm sorry. It was really like telling a lot of, they were on screen a lot. And his wings, his costume, it was a bit dorky in the front, but the way you overcome dorkiness is with that swag. And he did that. And Aldous Hodge, man, he did a phenomenal job. Dude, you belong in the superhero space. This is your space. You're at home. You did your thing. I can't wait to see more of him. Pierce Brosnan, oh man, I'm right there with you. That's my dude. I grew up on him. Mrs. Doubtfire, James Bond. There's just something so regal about that man. Gone too soon. I would have liked to see more of him. But again, so much like Doctor Strange. I was like, I know the characters in the comic. I know they're very similar. However, create some distance, DC, because I couldn't see anything that he did and not think about Benedict Cumberbatch and not think about Doctor Strange. Give me some distance. Overall, the Justice Society, I like what they were going, but tell me the story. Give me some more backstory.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, my 2 cents on the Justice Society is I like their presence overall. I thought the action and all that was badass. Loved it all. I can just repeat everything you guys said. However, I thought they did a horrible job. Horrible job, this film. Of, excuse me, just explaining the continuity of this whole universe of where they've been. Eman, you talking about what year is this and all that. I mean, they have an X-Men, basketball court where it opens up and the whole plane comes out. Like, where have y'all been this whole time? I know this is not y'all's first mission. So what did y'all do prior to this? Where were y'all when in Man of Steel, when the Kryptonians were wrecking shop, or where I'm gonna say Thanos, where Darkseid was coming in the Snyder Cut, or any other movie, like what Elliot or Eman, you said, why are they working for Amanda? For what? She's not a good person. She's evil. She's a snake. She has no moral code. She does what she wants, and she will step on. She probably kicks puppies in her backyard. I wouldn't be surprised.
Ain't that bad,
man. Amanda, really? Amanda Waller is horrible, bro.
She is a utilitarian. She does shady stuff for the greater good. So they make her a gray character.
Yeah,
bro. She is repulsive.
She's terrible.
Yeah, and
she's the worst.
Another thing, you talked about Hawkman's wings. Like, Thanagar is a thing, like where he comes from, so like how long? I had so many questions, like how long have they been here on Earth? Why are you where is your people at? What is Hawkwoman black or is she white? I mean, they don't have to answer that, but I was just curious. But as far as Dr. Fate, I don't know anything about the character really. I just know that he's super duper powerful.
Fancy.
OneTakeBigDog, where are you at, my brother? Come through. But yeah, I was saying to myself, I don't know much about Dr. Fate, but the little bit that I know about him, he should be able to take care of all this by himself.
I would highly recommend that if you're curious, go watch Young Justice. I'm not saying that, because they actually do give a new origin for Dr. Fate. I'm not saying that this is going to be the canon or whatever, but you will get a gist of Dr. Fate. I think it's all the way in season 4 that they really dig deeper into him. But it's fascinating. It's really, really dope. I'm telling you, he puts Doctor Strange to shame. Like, it's not even a close comparison. Between the two.
They should have showed that.
They should have.
Then show that, and show me the friendship between Hawkman and him. Like,
look, Dr. Fate can have his own movie. Legit.
Yeah. I know he's a badass. I mean, even if if anybody's familiar with the Death Battle YouTube channel, they have millions of subscribers where they put fictional characters together. They had a Dr. Fate versus Doctor Strange match, and Dr. Fate won easily. And so I was a little bit confused why Dr. Fate was struggling so much. He still looked badass and all that, but I was like, this doesn't make sense. I even think I was talking to OneTakeBigDog, and he said that if Black Adam were to put on the helmet of Naboo, it's over. He's the most strongest out of everybody. No questions asked.
It's too much though. That's too much magic. Like, it's too much. No man should have that much power.
That's the perfect way to put it.
I wouldn't be mad if in Black Adam 2, hopefully the Justice Society will return. I wouldn't be mad if there was a good 3-minute, let's go back and look at the friendship between Hawkman and Dr. Fate. Let's go back, like backtrack a little, because I want to see more of Pierce Brosnan in that role, because something that he said really made me want more of him when he said, I've seen the future. And you know what? For the first time, I can't see the future. And it feels
oh my God. Can we talk about that?
That just really spoke to how weary he was of his power. But how much story is behind that one quote? How much story is there? Give me more of that. Why are you so weary of this power, man?
Go ahead, man.
I just wanted to talk about the fact that I hated what they did with the end of Dr. Fate. I have absolutely no problem. Like, that moment of I can't see the future beyond a certain point, that's fine, because he could obviously predict everyone else's future, but not seeing your own. Well, Doctor Strange also kind of hinted at that. You're gonna die, at that point. So I had no problem with that. I think Pierce Brosnan was always kind of like, I'm gonna do a one and done. I ain't gonna do this for no 10 years. Right. Y'all gonna kill me, and that's it. And that's fine. That's fine, because Dr. Fate is a mantle. It is like whoever wears the helmet gets it. So that's not a big deal. My issue is the writing. The way that they had this character going in against this Satan, whatever wannabe or whatever, it was just so whack, because I was like, wait a minute. I understand if you have to do your last stand. I understand if you have to put your all into this. First of all, I don't care what they say. Any other time, Dr. Fate would have waxed this dude, but whatever. Let's back it up. The fact that all he had to do was shoot a DM to Black Adam to wake up, that's all you had to do?
That's hilarious.
And you didn't just do that from the jump? You
Yep.
didn't do that from the jump? It was almost like, were you just trying to have a suicide mission? I know that you were going to eventually die, but you could have built that up better. You could have just said, like, look, I already put the page in, for Black Adam, and it's a matter of him rushing to the scene. And in the meantime, Dr. Fate is doing everything he can. And let's just say the villain is just that powerful, and then he overcomes it. But to me, I was just like, y'all just turned Dr. Fate and his fate into a plot device just to set up Black Adam, and it didn't have to go down that way. You could have had his death actually have more meaning. Maybe Hawkeye was about to die, but he stepped in and sacrificed it because obviously that was his friend. He knew he was going to die. That could have been a subversion of expectations right there. There were so many other ways that they could have made his death more meaningful, because I'm sitting here like, if you got all this power that you literally can fight and you can communicate to Black Adam at the same time to wake him up, like, y'all just threw him away. Y'all threw him away, and it was just stupid to me.
Man, I got so much to say. Eman, my goodness, bro. You took the words right out of my mouth. That was the thing that frustrated me the most in this movie, was Dr. Fate dying. If he died, it was completely unnecessary. One, like you said, he's too powerful. It was just dumb. Like, let him in the thing and fight. Like, I don't want to just rehash everything you said.
Can I ask you, is the helmet gone for good? I don't know the history. Is the helmet gone for good?
It's just gonna go find another owner.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the helmet is
other
kind
people
of
that's worn it.
Yeah, the helmet has like a being inside of it. Like it is alive. So
It's like the cape. It's like Doctor Strange's cape.
Is his
not
name
so
Naboo?
much. Yeah, it is Naboo that's in there. Naboo is kind of like a god, right? And Naboo does choose who's worthy enough. But the thing is, if you are not strong-minded enough to resist him, he'll just take over your body. But the thing is, his power is so great, he'll eat up your body. Like, your body will just, like, because he's that powerful. So it usually needs somebody who's really strong-minded and has like a very high capacity for magic. So usually you'll see like wizard type people wielding Dr. Fate his helmet. And that's usually how it goes from one person to another. The whole thing with Hawkman, that was a stretch for the movie, because if anybody else had touched that, it would have been a wrap. He would have just became Dr. Fate, but they remixed that for the movie.
So right on, appreciate it, my bro. So yeah, man, just repeating everything you said, I just felt it was unnecessary completely. I mean, it was predictable too, which even makes it more disappointing in my opinion. But it's all good. Also, just staying on the JSA. I did not like Cyclone or Atom Smasher in this film. I thought there was a waste. I like Dr. Fate and I like Hawkman, but they could have kept them out, both of these characters. Especially Atom Smasher. He just wasn't funny to me. He wasn't appealing. I don't know. I guess this was their first or second mission, but at the same time, I'm frustrated to where they're watching the fight go down, and dude, hey, can y'all come through and help out? That just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Eman, that was probably the funniest thing I've ever heard you say, talking about old girl was gassy. But I was kind of getting a little. Only time I like Atom Smasher was this scene right here where he came up and punched at Black Adam in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
But I was kind of getting over her just running and just twirling in slow-mo with all the. It just didn't. I didn't really care. And prior to seeing this movie, every time I kept hearing Cyclone, I was getting the character mixed up with Red Tornado.
That's the daughter.
Yeah, somebody brought that to my attention. This is who I thought we was going to see, and so I was corrected there. But as far as the Justice Society, I liked them, except for Atom Smasher and Cyclone. the action was cool. I just didn't care for the characters, and I just thought it was horrible continuity and how they fit within this universe. That didn't make sense to me at all. I do like the conversation though that they were having with Eamon's mother. I forget her name. And it was like, wait a minute, we've been oppressed for so long, and Black Adam want to come here. Yeah, thank you. Adriana. He's like, we've been oppressed for so long, just living horribly. Black Adam comes to save us, and y'all want to come quail him. Where was y'all the whole time? I was just like, oh yeah, I'm with Adriana right here. I like that a lot. But that's when they kind of went to the backstory. Like, wait a minute, he's not the hero that y'all think he is. He's the one that destroyed conduct 5,000 years ago. Eman don't like that reveal. What?
No, listen, I'm just again.
I liked it. What's wrong with
it? Bad writing. Bad writing.
Really?
We don't know what they oppressed for. We already established that early on.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry.
We're gonna say resources.
See, now, again,
the mineral.
It would have been. It would have made more sense if it was like, yo, Inner Gang wants the Eternium, and so does Amanda Walder, and this country just happens to be caught in the middle. You know, like oil, like stuff like that would have made more sense. You know, like we don't like neither one of y'all heroes, and it's because y'all just want us for it. Like that would have made more sense. That would have gone a mile. But the whole idea of like, oh well, you guys didn't care and you didn't come. Well, hold on. I don't see y'all even caring about the fact that both Black Adam and these heroes and Inner Gang are destroying the mess out of your little 5-mile city. Your whole city is already getting destroyed, and y'all just like, go Black Adam, as he refuses. I know it's a joke, as he refuses to use a door.
Oh man, oh my goodness!
You just gonna keep destroying your own city? And y'all cool with this? What is the property value in this place?
But that actually was one of the funnier parts when they weren't intending to be funny. When he said, didn't they have doors 5,000 years ago? And he's like,
yeah. And
he was like, but I like walking through walls. I like that part.
I'm just saying, if I was the mama, I would be like, if you don't use a door, you letting all the good air out. Use a door.
Good point. I ain't mad at you.
And y'all just destroy half of the city, and they like our champion.
Hold on. Let me. I don't want these super chats to go away. I got.
Didn't they learn nothing from Man of Steel?
Oh, excuse me, throat got dry. Erwin Davis, 999. Thank you so much, Aaron. I really do appreciate it. Let me you can dance.
What a money reside. What a money reside. What a money reside. What a money reside.
999. I was waiting for you all to review it, Black Adam. Well, hey, here we are.
Yeah.
So, Aaron, thank you so much for that super chat. I do appreciate it. Also have Khalid Ali, $5. I don't mind spoilers in movie reviews. The ending doesn't change my journey. You better than me, man, because I almost cussed out a woman once for spoiling a Will Smith movie like 5 minutes before it started. I can't stand spoilers if I don't ask for them. But I'm glad you don't mind, and I'm glad you're here. I don't know why.
Spoilers are whack.
Did she spoil? Was it After Earth for you, Brandon?
No, man, it was.
You shouldn't mind that.
Man, what movie was that? I'm gonna try to remember before we out of here. But Khalid, thank you so much for the super chat. And we also got Struggles, Tyra, Reviewz TV, man, $9.99. Yes. See what this young lady has to say. Couldn't make it to the panel. That's all right. But I just wanted to say, in your face, Marvel, even though the movie was simply okay, it wasn't Doctor Strange or Thor. Love and lack of shirts. All this can get all this. That's what's up, Mom. That's what's up. So, hey, fellas out there, if you want to shoot your shot of struggles, you got to get them arms built up, man. You got to get them tries and buys built up. But no, it's Howard. Thank you for the super chat. I do appreciate it, ma'am. And congratulations on all your growth too. It would be nice to have you here, but I know people are busy. But thank you so much, ma'am. I do appreciate it. We was talking about the JSA and the what was you talking about, Eman? Damn.
You were just talking about the Adriana
and Inner Gang.
Yeah.
And I agree with you, Eman. Like, had they fleshed out the story more, because one thing, movies don't need humor. They don't need certain things. And if you're doing an action movie, you really don't need heart. But if you're doing a superhero movie, you do need heart. You need a reason.
Yes.
Purpose is at the center of every great comic book and every great superhero story. Purpose. Even if your purpose is to be evil, that's fine for the main character. If they would have given more to the story of the Inner Gang and why, I think it would have hit really hard because I like what she said. And she's like, our people, I don't care if Adam is perfect.
Right.
We just want freedom.
Right.
We don't want a hero.
Yeah.
That's why she didn't appreciate them coming on in and being like, yeah, we're here. And she's like, I don't want a hero. I want freedom.
Yeah.
Had I known what that freedom was, that would have hit like, ooh, man, she's right. That's good.
Right.
But it was like, I don't know. Are you mad because there's no more blockbusters in the world? Like, what are you angry at?
Yeah. No, that look, Kim just brought up a fantastic point, and this is one of the reasons why I keep trying to tell people I don't care if it's a superhero movie. We don't need to give a pass to bad writing. And what I mean by bad writing is just because you superficially understand what they're saying doesn't mean that it actually resonated emotionally. Because 9 times out of 10, the movies we care about the most are the ones that we can feel the most for, even if you don't agree, you know, with the hero or the antagonist or whatever, but you feel it. So for me, at the whole time, I understood what she was saying. I understood she wanted relief and liberty and all. Everything she said on paper made sense. The movie just didn't execute the delivery of emoting what she was talking about, because we were just sitting here like, who are y'all again? Where y'all come? Right. Okay, like, I guess, all right, you know. Now, if all this stuff would have taken place in the past, you know, 5,000 years before, with the people that were enslaved, I connected with them way more because we saw their they were literally oppressed in chains. Literally, I connected with them because I saw their struggle. I knew what it was. Y'all getting stopped at a traffic light or whatever. What, like? Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't like. What's the problem? I don't know. So yeah, you gotta do the whole work with a story so that we can really feel it and connect with it. And yeah, at the end of the day, it's not always just the villain that needs to work, but it's also the challenge that the superhero has to overcome. That is also what makes these things the most effective once you get out the theater.
I got you. Wonderful. I got another super chat coming up. But the action was nice. I like how everybody was beating each other's ass. That was cool and all that good stuff. And let me hold on. I'm full on my book here. I'm trying to pull up these photos. But let's get to this right here. Your boy, what was his name? The Ishmael Sabek and the crown of excuse me, Sabek. I kind of want to hear from you guys. Do y'all feel it was enough backstory for that crown? I don't at all.
I forgot about the crown.
He was also Octon. I think he was supposed to. Here's the thing. They kind of.
Well, hold on. Let me set it up real quick. The crown and also the message in the crown was that the only path to life is death, or the only, and it was upside down and all that. Yeah. And also just you know, we got this dude right here that came out of nowhere that was super duper powerful. I kind of want to know how y'all feel about that. And also just Shazam surrendering, and I don't that was kind of silly to me. Kim, the floor is yours. You can talk about any of that stuff, the crown, whatever. How did you feel about all that?
Again, with the Ethereum, does because the crown has some blue light in it as well, if I remember. So is it made out of Ethereum? Does it have it in it? I would have liked okay, because when he touched it, he had an adverse effect to it. But Ishmael, they like slid in there that Octon was like his ancestor. I would have liked that probably right after the cave scene where he got on the phone and was like, I told you not to hit me that hard. You know, when you were like, okay, bad guy confirmed. I would have liked to know that earlier in the story, so that again, there's more emotional draw to why are you doing this? Are you just greedy? Do you just want the minerals? But I hope the writers take note. I like that there's going to be a sequel. I like that Black Adam will return, because I think the way Dwayne Johnson appreciates the fans and appreciates the fan passion and input, I think he'll really listen to what the fans have to say. And I really believe Black Adam 2 will have better writing, because we missed that. I was like, not only did you get power, but like, did you want to be Satan? Did you desire to be Beelzebub? Because not only was he just a bad guy that was red? Didn't he have like a pentagram on him or something?
Yeah, they leaned in on this, yeah.
I was very confused.
Nature of it, yeah.
I was very confused. I went from we have wizards to somebody go get my oil. It's Beelzebub at my door. Like, it's the devil. Like, what? Where did this come from?
And Elliot, let me pass this to you too. On top of that, because we talked about how there were so many things in this film that were underdeveloped, like the wizards, the crown, Sabuk, the upside down. Do you feel like the Justice Society got in the way of that? Would you have rather them not be in this film at all so they can further develop this other stuff? And maybe we could have got the Justice Society and something else. Would that have worked better for you? And you can also still comment on all the other stuff I just brought up too.
Yeah, no, I think it could have been a better balance. I think we could have had the JSA be, again, I would have thought it would have been much more smart for the film to be a JSA introducing a Black Adam versus the other way around. But they could have had Sabak been a huge influence on a lot of the stuff that we've been mentioning, as far as, because I think there is a line when Andrea, whatever the professor name was, she said they've been impressed for 27 years. So I'm just curious, like, what if Sabak was like slowly but surely trying to influence all their leaders and trying to get into their heads and giving them all these bad ideas and reducing their electricity or their water? Like, I think this film to me reminded me so much of one of my favorite films in the last decade. Is Mad Max Fury Road. It's a very simple story, but it did just enough to kind of propel the action, but also telling you the story within the action. And the action very much so kind of carried the motivations of our characters. And I think of Immortal Joe, taking the water from the people, and just like a simple little thing like that. If Sebek would have been just a simple little devilish character where he's literally destroying their governments from within for they can bring hell on earth, it could have been much more involved if they would have had that character be implemented very early on in the film. So I thought Sabak was just literally thrown in because they're like, wait, you want Black Adam to be an anti-villain, somewhat anti-hero. Who can we throw in to kind of make him look a little bit more, better? The devil, literally bringing the devil, a manifestation of evil. So I thought that they could have made it a lot better. They just kind of, again, it was just kind of half-assed and thrown in there. Great value, Hellboy. Yeah, I didn't like the character either. Yeah.
How did you feel about Sabak, the Crown, all that? How'd you feel?
I mean, listen, there were so many things that they just could have tweaked slightly. Just slight tweaks to make this work. So even in the cave, he was like, that was a perfect opportunity to just do a fake out. You could have pretended to kill him off screen, and all of a sudden we like, oh man, inner gang's a real problem. And then just bring him back later and we like, oh, he was behind it all along. Like, just that little thing would have been fine, rather than here's the predictable villain that I still don't care about throughout the movie. I literally do not care about, what is it, Ishmael or whatever. I don't care about him until he actually turns into, we have Mephisto at home. I don't care, right? So, and then you also have the other thing of like, you had a grand opportunity, because obviously he was working with Inner Gang. Was he running Inner Gang? Was he the person that was actually oppressing the people that he actually wanted to have power over at the end? Like, that stuff could have been brought home a little bit more to emphasize why he's more important, and not just like a generic villain that they just threw in there for the sake of it. So that I was kind of disappointed with. In terms of your other question about like, do we need the JSA? I do think we did need something, because the whole point of the JSA was to emphasize and develop the theme of what is a hero. You needed a contrast for Black Adam to say, this is what a hero is, and this is what Black Adam is not. So I had no problem with them introducing him. But to Kim's optimism of the writing getting better, I don't know. Because we got in this place to begin with because The Rock listened to the fans. And that's the part that I get very weary of, because as a fan myself, sometimes we want too much. Sometimes we don't know when to stop. We got a bottomless stomach and we will consume, and not even take a breath just to swallow or to chew. Like, we will just keep on going. And, we already hear about, The Rock talking about the next sequel, talking about like, man, forget Shazam, let's just jump right to Superman. I'm like, bro, like, there would be no Black Adam if it wasn't for Shazam. Right. Like, they just wouldn't. Like, what are you doing? Like, slow down, take a breath. I know you want, the fans will come if you write good stories. They're not going to go nowhere. I don't know not one comic fan that even the ones that complain about trash comic book movies, they still watch them because we always have the hope that the next one will be better and not the same as Venom 2.
Venom 2.
Yes. We always have hope. We always have hope that it's going to get better.
Hilarious. We'll be watching Venom 3 in hopes that the next
I'm gonna watch that sucker.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it.
They won.
I know what Venom 2 did, and I'm gonna still go watch Venom 3.
Thank you, man. Hilarious. I did not really like the whole switcheroo that Haru was the chosen one, but then he gave his powers to his dad.
Really?
But he died 2 seconds after he gave him the powers. That was a waste. Kill the bad people first, and then give the come on. Here you go, Dad. Here go the powers, Daddy. That bothered me, man. That was that. If he didn't, I just didn't like how fast he died after he gave the powers away. It was literally the second afterwards, and they got shot with arrows. Oh, it worked for okay.
I mean, I thought it was literally the best story writing that they had in the whole thing. I was like, oh. Look at this twist. Oh, look at how it defined Black Adam's character. Like,
I'll give you that. But did he have to die right after he?
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
That's like taking off your helmet and getting shot. Like
he was being followed.
And the spies, yeah,
they had people following him. They did not like him.
Okay. Kim, did it work for you?
Enemy number one.
Did it work for you, Kim?
I thought it was interesting to see, kind of like I said, like that first ancient Shazam, the kid turning to adult. I really like that because, like I said, this is my first introduction to Black Adam. So in the beginning, when I saw the kid, I actually thought it was Black Adam as a kid.
Right.
And when he was rising up like a little leader, I was like, okay, young man, like
Dark Knight Rises,
Boy Scouts of America. He's like, we need to do the right thing. And I was like, look at this young man. And so I actually really liked that kid, and I liked his spirit. He had the spirit of a hero. That's why I wanted to see a little bit more of the story. And it was interesting. I don't think they really told a lot about how long was it Harum? How long he was the Shazam version of him, because they had a statue, but the way they shot it, it made it seem like he got the powers and he was in a cave.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he did a few things where his dad was like, wow, you're powerful. And then his dad was like in danger, and then he gave his powers. Like, it seemed to me like the people never got to see Harum as that hero, but I guess they did, but they didn't tell that story well.
Yeah,
right.
Because I was very, I was very like, did anyone see him as this magical being? I don't know. But I thought that kid in that relationship was really cool about like how noble his son was. That's why again, it would have behooved the story. Again, I would have liked to see this in the movie Shazam, or even the end of Shazam, instead of all in one movie, because having seen a evil Black Adam and then seeing this son who is so noble and such a little leader, and you're like, wow, that's why he's able to grab hold of the hero part of him, because look at his son, look how wonderful he was. That was a missed opportunity, again, to grab the heart in the story.
Yeah.
And let me clarify, I love Haru, and he was a G. He inspired everybody, with the rock symbol. I just don't like stupid deaths. I just didn't like his death. I didn't like Dr. Faith's death. I just thought maybe they could have fleshed it out more. But yeah, the story was dope as hell. We're not gonna be here too much longer. Elliot, and you didn't like the skeletons coming to life at the end of the movie as well? No.
Hell no. Literally hell no.
Yeah.
Put them back in hell. They did
put them back in hell.
That was whack.
That made no sense. It was like, we got to have these extras do something. We paid them for the day. We need
and they looked weird.
They looked very weird.
They looked like Lego zombies.
That's funny. That's funny.
It's a bad Halloween costume.
I'm sorry. I just didn't believe, this is our city. We have to. I was like, none of that felt earned. Yeah. None of it felt earned. I mean,
I got you.
First of all, I'd be running that away. I don't care. Hell on Earth, I'm running that way.
You're right.
Y'all already destroyed half the city. I ain't got nowhere to sleep. Y'all destroyed my car. My home is gone. What am I fighting for? Dirt? Bye.
That dirt is important to the people.
The minerals within the
dirt. Go check into the nearest Airbnb. Forget this.
Blur Forever, thank you so much for £3. Is Black Adam better than the Suicide Squad movie? No.
Wait,
the
James
latest,
Gunn?
the James Gunn? No. The original, yes.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
But the James Gunn, no. That's
Nah.
the James Gunn is a dang near masterpiece in my opinion. That's like
I
a
wouldn't say all
9.
that.
I would. But it's cool. It's cool. Also, Blur Forever, another £4. How would you feel if Dwayne Johnson ran DCEU? I don't know about all that.
No.
Yeah, he even said that he wouldn't want to. Yeah.
No.
He said he would want to be an advisor, but not running, not being the Kevin Feige.
I small advisor.
But
hey, he made something happen pretty
He
big
made something happen, but
so he can make moves. He
Yeah.
can make money moves.
Thank you, Blur Forever. But we at the end of the film. They battle it out. I like the trick that Hawkman used with the helmet to fake out Sabak. It was kind of cute, you know. And then I gotta say, it was dope as hell though, seeing the Rock sit on the throne. And I was like, oh, that's from the comic book. Oh, that was cool to me. But then he destroyed it and was like, we don't need a hero, but maybe a protector. I forgot the exact words. And then we get the post-credit scene with Superman showing up. I forgot to say this, man. While I did like Hawkman, he was getting on my nerves though. He was somewhat of a hater in a bit, you know. Like I was just like kind of like leave Black Adam alone, you know. You in his grill a little bit too much, you know. Like it seemed like he wanted to be he had I want to be the smartest person in the room energy. Like I gotta be the strongest here, you know. I'm just a little bit. I was like, dial it back, you know, dial it back. But
I think it felt like that way because it didn't feel earned, because they didn't again show any backstory as to here's Hawkman and here's who he conquered, and this is why he feels like he can come up against someone like Black Adam and win. They didn't give us any reason to believe why Hawkman believed he could beat Black Adam, because he saw his power on display and he was still challenging him. I think the reason it was annoying, because I feel you there, I get you, is because it wasn't earned, because you didn't tell us anything about him. We just know that he's a cool guy, possibly also from Wakanda, especially Eman, the way he jumped out of that plane.
Hello.
Boom.
Hello.
It was nice. It was nice.
Stop copying.
I liked him. He kind of just had a little hater vibes.
No, but it's not about hater vibes. That was his whole purpose. He is supposed to be the counter to Black Adam. I mean, literally, when he was like, "Stop killing the prisoners," because we could actually get information from them.
Good point.
Like just something that little.
Good point.
Like, yo, we're not getting nowhere when you just keep killing folks.
Good point.
You know,
I give you that.
I did love no, I'm not going to drop them. I'm going to drop one of them.
I like that.
I love that.
Now see that stuff like that.
That was good.
I'm cool with that. That's Black Adam right there. Like, okay, we can talk. I'm
More
still
of
gonna
that.
kill him. You know, more of that. More of that. Yes.
Yeah.
So what do we leave out? What important plot point, story, whatever that we did not cover? This you guys want to get off your chest? Did we cover everything, or can y'all think of anything else?
Only thing I can think of is I want to know who were in those chambers that Amanda Waller had cooped up. There was a lot of some big ones too. So I'm like, who
Indiana
else did she
Jones
capture?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very curious about that. But
Good one.
I was looking too. I was like,
I know, right?
I was too. I was like, wait a minute.
Hold
on.
Those are shadows.
Right.
I couldn't make
big
anything
ones in
out.
there too.
Yeah. Good one, Elliot. I forgot all about that because I was watching. Like I was like, damn, it was bodies and containers everywhere.
Right.
Like
I bet you Zack Snyder's in probably one of them too.
You know what? That reminds me of the Justice League cartoon.
Not with Lex Luthor had all that stuff underground.
Also, it was one with Amanda Waller.
Cadmus.
Was it?
Oh no, was it Cadmus? I forget.
Who was the girl clone? She had Superman powers, but she was I think a girl clone. She had an all white. She had an all white suit on. And I just remember in the old cartoon, there was one scene where it was a bunch of pods. I don't remember, but good observation, Elliot.
I thought I ain't gonna lie, when they went to Antarctica or whatever, I was like, are y'all going to the Fortress of Solitude? I thought that for a second, but no.
Okay, well, we can't think of nothing else. We got it all. Okay.
I mean, are we talking about the cameo or no?
Yeah, we can. Oh, yeah, we can. Superman showed up.
Whoa, hold on, Brandon. Hold on. Let's say, hold on.
I missed it.
Superman showed up. That was a big deal, bro.
Bro, you scared me, bro. I thought
I really was like, did you walk out of the theater?
Bro, you got me. I cannot believe you got me like that. Yeah, man. You made me leave. I can't even talk right now. I'm scared. Anyway, man, stop it. So Elliot, take the wheel, man. Post credit scene. I can't talk right now. What did y'all think of that?
Listen,
if you have any
man.
commentary.
Listen, as Eman's rocking the shirt, I'm a big. So this is I don't know. This is how I feel. Henry Cavill to me is my favorite Superman of all time. There's no disrespect to Christopher Reeves. I love what he brought to the role, and obviously being like the OG of superhero movies in general. We wouldn't have this film if it wasn't Christopher Reeves and all the different iterations of the character. But to me, man, Zack Snyder and Henry Cavill, what they built with that character to me is just something I will never forget. And I will always stand on the hill that Men of Steel is an amazing comic book film. Seeing Henry Cavill just being, as The Rock has said many times, your greatest superhero being sidelined to me is just so baffling. What they've been doing since next June will be 10 years since the first Man of Steel came out, and he has yet to get a follow-up sequel. It's just ridiculous.
Criminal.
We're gonna have 3 Ant-Man movies coming out in February before we get a sequel to it. Oh my goodness, it's crazy.
That's hilarious.
Listen,
but the fact that this is, and I think this is Henry Cavill's first time, like, because we know he did reshoots and was included in Zack Snyder, but that, it's asterisk on that as far as like being a new film. This is his first time like in a newer film moving forward in DC since 2017 Justice League. So it's been 5 years since he's been in the suit, and he's been saying it. He's like, I still got the cowl, and I still got the suit, I still got the cape in my closet. I'm here to play. But The Rock made it happen, man, and seeing it play out. Which, if I'm not mistaken, I think Variety said they literally shot this in September. And I'm not talking about September of 2021. I'm talking about September, like a month and a half ago that they shot that scene. So it goes to show you what I know Eman talks about all the time, reshoots. You can, how quick they can make things happen. Anything. So the fact that The Rock made it happen and went around the bosses, Walter Hamada, whose last day was, the other day.
Get out of there.
Get out of here. He got him there. And the scene, I know I know you mentioned earlier that the words didn't really, it hit me though, because it's like, The Rock's been pitching the whole, like, the greatest power in the universe. And, it's been a while since the world's been nervous before, alluding to, obviously when Superman landed on Earth. And then, like, they need to talk. I don't know, man. I'm super excited for it. I hope that we get a Henry Cavill, whether it's Man of Steel 2, which I doubt it'll be that. Just give him like a Superman movie, Last Man of Krypton or whatever, and then give us whatever they're opening this door up to, Justice League versus Suicide Squad or whatever they may be. But I'm happy, man. The future is looking bright. I'm a huge fan of the character. I'm a huge fan of Henry Cavill in particular playing the character, and many more to come. Many more things to come to this character. I'm here for it.
Elliot, I can hear the passion and see it in your voice. This dude is really excited, man. I'm happy. I'm happy as a fan. I'm happy another fan is happy. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's up right there. One more super chat real quick from Ron Frazier, $5. Thank you, Ron. Did Superman show up? Don't believe it. Dwayne Johnson was in no way heavily hinting at his appearance. Yuck, 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 yuck.
That's sarcasm. That's sarcasm.
Yep.
Yes. Now, thank you, Ryan. And I appreciate it, man. And that character, they helped me out in the chat. Oh, that's the wrong one. Power Girl. It was a episode of in the original Justice League cartoon where she showed up and there was a bunch of pots in the back. That's what I thought of. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are at 2 hours and, don't want this to be too long-winded, but I want to thank you all for tuning in to our Black Adam full spoilery review. We really do appreciate you hanging out with us this Saturday evening. It means the world to all of us. And again, shortly after this broadcast ends, there will be an audio only version of this for you to download at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, all the lovely platforms that you see here on the screen. And before we head out of here, Miss Kimberly, why don't you let the good people know what you're working on, if anything, or where they can follow you, or what people have to look forward to.
Yeah, so the podcast that I've been talking about forever, it's coming in 2023. I'm really excited. I'm working on the graphics and all that. I actually am one that doesn't like to talk about stuff until it's ready, but I was so excited. I didn't know it'd take this long, but it's coming, and I'm really, really excited to bring it to you guys. I'm so thrilled. It's coming in 2023. So keep an eye out for that. You can follow me on Instagram at wuzgoodkimberly. And thank you so much for having me on. It's always a blast to get with the film community. The world is going crazy right now, and I feel like the film community is such a phenomenal shared energy, and I just think it's wonderful.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And then thank you so much for that. You know, I'm glad to have you here as well, Kim. And like she said, make sure you follow her on Instagram, and also here's your YouTube channel, subscribe, all that good stuff. So Kim, thank you for being here. Your commentary was perfect. Next, we have brother Eman, sir. Thank you for being here. What you got going on all of your platforms and outlets that all the good people have to look forward to?
Yeah. So first and foremost, shout out to Recast T'Challa, because you know that needs to happen. But more importantly, I would encourage everybody to go visit the new Wakanda Forever challenge that is on GoFundMe. All the funds that are donated here go straight to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. This is the very same hospital that Chadwick Boseman visited the children that were fighting cancer while he was fighting cancer, and he was shooting Black Panther at the same time. So this right here, I think, is a worthy cause for our dollars. You know, if you're gonna go watch Wakanda Forever, if you're not gonna go watch Wakanda Forever, I don't care what you do, there's no reason why we shouldn't go support these kids so that they have an opportunity to see all the Black Panther films in the future. We're already past the halfway mark, and we're trying to hit our goal by the time the movie comes out, or maybe even exceed it. Either way is fine with me. But please, any amount that you could donate would go a very, very long way in supporting these kids and their families as they battle cancer. And yeah, it just means a lot to me. You know, I feel like this is the next evolution of like trying to honor the work that Chadwick Boseman brought, that he was trying to, you know, take on. And yeah, I hope that we, you know, do him right that way. So if you got a chance, go ahead, support, use the hashtag Wakanda Forever Challenge. Let's make that go viral so we can build up this good cause.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, bro. What you got going on your channel, man? You know, any videos?
Yeah, listen, every Friday, come out to the lives. You know, that's what we're gonna do. I try to be like B. Avery. I try to give y'all some news, just a little bit. You know, it's a nice little live chat community we got going on. But I warm y'all up. I'm the opening act for B. Avery.
This guy.
Y'all go ahead, check me out every Friday. Come and join the Avengers, you know, and the rest of the E fam as we tackle the news of the week. And of course, you know, you'll get a trailer reaction, a review, and we'll talk about, well, oh, look, we got them dragons coming up. So come on this Monday. See, I'm a warm up. I'm an after show for Elliot, because I think Elliot does his on Sundays. So if y'all stay up late, y'all could go check out Elliot. But after that, come on with me, because my bedtime, the way it's set up, I can't stay up that late. So I gotta, yeah, I'm old.
That's what's up, man. I don't laugh at me, y'all. I still gotta watch the last episode of House of the Dragon. I haven't seen it yet. I just been busy.
I can't believe it.
I may watch it tonight. But yeah,
watch it with 10 toes down, bro. You
man, I'm tripping. But thank you. All the kind words, all that good stuff. Also, man, y'all, let's can this man reach 100K by the end of the year? I mean, come on, like seriously, like we're look, help, just subscribe. We got 124 people watching. Are you telling me that all 124 people will subscribe to you, man? If not, you're missing out.
Yes,
you're missing out. I'm just saying. Elliot, last but definitely not least, Mr. Elliot with Movie Files, sir. Thank you for being here. What wonderful programs do you have on your channel coming up that everybody can look forward to, sir?
Yeah, man. Well, again, it's always literally always a pleasure to chop it up with you, B and Kim, and of course, Eman. And shout out to you again, Brandon. 40K, man. 50K is right around the corner, my friend. But such a great time today, guys. You guys can check me out here on YouTube and on Twitter and TikTok and Instagram, all those fun social media sites. But as far as my channel goes, as Eman alluded to, tomorrow Sunday Fun Day. We do a 12 p.m. Central Time for any Atlanta fans out there. Fourth and final season. We'll be talking the most recent episode, which was just so beautiful. We'll be talking about that live at 12 p.m. Central Time. And then later that evening, 7:45 Central Time, we'll be doing our last watch along. We've been doing a weekly watch along for House of the Dragon. So we will be watching the finale, and maybe laughing, maybe crying, seeing some feet of dragons and humans and everything in between. So definitely stop by tomorrow. And then after that, we have an after show. So it's a fully packed day on Sunday. So at 9:30 p.m. Central Time, we'll be having an after show discussing the finale, the show as a whole, best episodes, favorite characters, what didn't work, so on and so forth. So tomorrow is a big day wrapping up House of the Dragon and talking about Atlanta. So check me out.
Right on, man. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Yeah, check him out right here. Dude has great content. And yeah, Elliot, congratulations on 40K as well, sir. You're on your way to 50K. Sure. Let's help him get there by the end of the year. But guys, last but not least is me. Subscribe to my channel. If this is your first time here, I would really appreciate it. I am going live tomorrow. I may move it up earlier again. I think it may be 5:30 tomorrow p.m. CST. And so make sure you subscribe, check it out. Going to go over some nice, great topics and all that good stuff. And also, I did review this on Netflix right here, The School for Good and Evil. If you guys want to check that out, you can. I'm also covering Love is Blind. Right here is my recap for episodes 1 and 2. We got SK and Raven on the screen. And I shot my recap for episodes 3 and 4 last night. I just have to upload it. And also, guys, this broke my heart. It was very hard to talk about. I cried in the movie. I cried while I was recording my review and while editing it. But that's Till, the Emmett Till story. Danielle Deadweiler. Y'all do not understand how great this performance was. Woo! Shit! She needs an Oscar immediately. But check this review out as well. That is on my channel. I would really appreciate it. And so, yeah, check out all of our stuff. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we all want to thank you so much for tuning in. And before you go, don't forget that I'm B. Avery. That's Kim, Eman, and Elliot. And that's just our opinion. Peace out. And we'll see you next time.